I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
That he has Asperger's syndrome. And based on what we've seen over the last 48 hours, I'm just wondering what sort of some of the side effects or symptoms of that could be and how that could relate to some of the behavior that we've witnessed over the last few days.
And the comedy in that Saturday Night Live monologue where he announced that he has essentially autistic spectrum disorder. And again,
they have a bill that's going to be up to me. It's my option. They made it that way, and it would save a lot of time if that happened. So I'm okay with it. I haven't decided to use it.
Mr. President,
it's a very strong bill.
Mr. President, you gave Elon Musk, when he left the White House, a key symbolically to the White House, to the administration at large. I think that's what. Would you like him to give that back?
No, I don't take things. But
what about the
politics? The most dirtiest game in town, and no one can be trusted. And as you see the fallout between Elon Musk and Donald Trump, this goes to show that nothing is sacred in the game of politics. And this is very disappointing, but expected. And it is indeed something that you and I must come to understand. These politicians do not represent what's best for you outside of what's best for them. And I give credence and credit to Donald Trump to a certain extent as far as truly trying to live up to the mandate that we gave him when we voted him into office. But at the end of the day, politicians are politicians, and none of them are immune to the corruptness that is always on display. Allow us to continue to listen to Donald.
How do you think his Doge did at the end of the day with savings?
I think it helped us a lot. I think it helped. And it's not finished at all. We are basically taking it over. We're doing it. Many of those people remain with us, and they're going to remain with us. It's terrific. We saved hundreds of millions of dollars. It's terrific, and it's going further. I mean, I'd give you the answer actually at the end of 2 years, because a lot of it is out into the future. But it was a big saving and a good mindset.
And what are you going to do about the Tesla? Are you going to keep it, or are you going to?
I haven't thought about it.
Do you have any plans to contact?
I hope he does well with Tesla.
Do you have any plans to speak with Mr. Musk? This was one of your closest advisors.
No, I don't have any plans. Somebody made a mistake. A lot of reporters have been calling. I didn't call it a reporter. A lot of reporters have asked me the same question.
But they're apparently.
No, I don't. I'm not even thinking.
But they're apparently.
Again, one of the key things that many individuals within the Republican Party and on the conservative side want Trump and Elon against was the breaking apart of the union that had a very strong start to the new administration coming in. And without Elon Musk, it is highly unlikely that Donald Trump would have swept many of those mainstream states when it comes to those states that are considered to be swing states. And this is why I must say that who stabbed who in the back? It's really more complex than you and I probably understand. Many of us want to take these strong positions. I'm not one of those individuals who aligns myself with any party, any political party. I'm aligned with the policies that I see that works best for me and first and foremost, my family and the country. And no matter who brings forth those policies, that's who I rock with. So again, the world is a difficult place to navigate. And I think that Donald Trump is doing a good job in the things that he is doing. However, I do believe that this was an opportunity and is an opportunity to perhaps try to mend that fence, even though Elon Musk went nuclear on him and impulsively spoke out in ways that were not ideally true and that were meant to be damaging. But it says that he has Asperger's syndrome. let's continue to look at that and see if that is what caused this breakdown that he engaged in. Allow the doc to express himself.
That's what that is. What you're seeing, that odd pattern of speech. But the main thing with Asperger's is a difficulty with reading social cues. And that could be contributing to what we've seen with his social media outbursts lately. But I suspect it's something a little different, which is that if you read his biography, this man will go on these hypomanic binges where he works for days at a time without sleeping. There's all these descriptions of his relentlessness, him struggling with a problem at 6 p.m., sitting on the side of the bed, and his wife waking up at 5 a.m. and he's still in the same position that he was at 6 p.m., having not moved the entire time. Hypomania is something that many very successful people have. The risk with it, though, is that occasionally it can flip into mania, where there's irritability. You add in sort of a lack of risk assessment. They can't quite acknowledge risk. And then autism on top of that, where there might be a difficulty really understanding the impact of what he's doing. It all kind of has that flavor. And is he bipolar? Is he not? I don't know him, but it kind of looks like he's flipped into kind of an abnormal state here. And it was interesting. Trump yesterday just sort of tossed it off like, I don't know, seems to be a Trump derangement syndrome that kicks in when people leave Washington. It was really kind of interesting. So I think this thing will resolve.
No one is immune to the consequences of any mental disorder, whether it is a small mental disorder or it's extreme. No one is immune, whether they are rich, whether they are poor. And I think this is what we're seeing emerging forth out of Elon Musk. And of course, he has every right to be frustrated. His company losing over $150 billion in worth in one day. His Tesla's being put on fire by the lunatics that are left leaning. All these things are definitely triggers. However, he went a little far, and I think the doctor explained exactly what it was and what it is he think is happening with Elon. And you can see immediately or a day or two later after he came out of his mania, he actually was conciliatory. He wanted to reach back out to Donald. Donald is not willing to accept those calls at this point. Maybe he will in the future, because again, I think the union is better than the split. Now, allow us to finish hearing what the doc has to say about
side effects of Asperger's. And by the way, Elon Musk, incredibly successful, the richest man in the history of our species as human beings. Remarkable. Social difficulties, repetitive behavior, narrowed interest, difficulty developing friendships, difficulty with change, emotional difficulties, and social awkwardness. I thought the difficulty with change is fascinating because think about what just happened. He's no longer part of the administration.
Yeah, it could be part of it. Again, it's not the whole story. There's more going on, and how he got flipped into this state of irritability and sort of inflation, we call it, or agitation. There's a lot of ways you can get there, but I do suspect somebody will grab him and go, "Hey, dude, come on, let's get it back together here." It's unfortunate this happened. Look, it's all those strengths that he has that I admire Elon Musk. Like, I read his biography. Please do. You'll really love this man, but it has liabilities, and I think we're seeing that right now.
What can we learn from this? What I've learned from this is that life is a constant interchanging of trade-offs when it comes to relationships. Very few individuals are doing things out of the love of people. Most people are doing things out of the love for the trade-off. What can I get in order, and what do I have to give in order to get what it is that I want? And each individual are constantly battling within this context, within the realm of our life, in our engagement with family, with children, with business partners, with clients, with whoever it is that we are engaged with, whatever it is that we want. Most of us are dealing in trade-offs. And when the trade-offs seem unbalanced, which I think Elon Musk is experiencing at this point, then if you are emotionally unhinged at any point doing a trade-off that is not going your way, then you can spew out things that are detrimental and compound that which you are not agreeing with in the first place. And this is where Elon Musk has stepped overboard. But again, he is, and this makes no excuse, but he definitely has a mental disorder. It's small. You may not think it. You may feel a certain way because he's the richest man in the world. But if he has Asperger's syndrome, if he has those things, there are byproducts to those things that make things extremely difficult when it comes to dealing, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to sustaining friendships. Again, no excuses for him, but at the end of the day, we must take all these things into consideration. Hopefully they can mend, and hopefully they can continue to work together. I doubt it, but the union was great for the little bit of time that it was together, and it produced amazing results. So if you enjoyed the video, I ask you guys to please subscribe, like, comment, and to share. Have a beautiful day. Peace.